So, this is our intro video to our channel that hopefully some of you out there will enjoy. My name is Bobby, and my general interests are in movies and comic books, board games, video games. I don't play them nearly as much as I used to, and role-playing games. And those are the kinds of topics that we'll hopefully be covering on the channel here, dividing them up, crossing over where relevant or necessary, but hopefully focusing on the individual sections as individual parts. So hopefully that's the way it pans out. I suppose if something turns out to be far more favorable than something else, it's going to get more focused. That's just the way these things work, but we'll see.
I'm Chad. My interests lie with books, movies, video games. Don't play enough video games, but role-playing games and wargaming. Really like to dive into lore in most war games. I don't play most of them, but I started getting some armies ready. But yeah, hopefully here soon.
My name's Brad. I'm a relatively newbie to the whole scene, the comic books, the Marvel, the MCU, or that is the same thing, isn't it? The was it DC comics, the tabletop gaming. I don't even play a lot of video games. I never have really. The video games left me by with the Sega Genesis.
Not a bad place to stop.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice. I played a lot of
Risk on
Sonic. I played a lot of Risk and Monster Rancher.
Yeah.
There you go, Monster Rancher and Sonic.
But I did play a D&D back in the day, back in the mid-'80s, a little bit. It was hard to get a group together with any sort of regularity or that would stay. And, we were in junior high, early high school, and that kind of fell to the side, except for periodically over the next 30 years, I would use character sheets or improvised character sheets to help flesh out characters for stories that I was writing, fantasy stories mostly, as far as using the character sheets. And that's how I kept my toe in the water, so to speak. I kept up on things somewhat, not with the different rules of 3 and 3.5 and Pathfinder and everything. But I came back into 5, and 5 is wonderful. And
yeah, we should note that as of this recording, the 3 of us and 2 other people are in an ongoing game, and hopefully at some point we'll at least have them say hello in the video, or we might even be able to actually get some of our game footage if anyone has any interest. But
we do aspire to that if that's something that you all would like to see. That is something that we would like to do. We are doing. We haven't started filming games yet, but we are playing the games. And I had an urge to get back into it. I reached out to Bob. I knew Bob was into it. Luckily, that just happened to be right when they were talking about starting a new campaign, and everything just worked out great. And here we are, moving forward with that, and now this project.
yeah, should also note that Chad and I were involved in a 3.5 game that went wildly off the rails that we'll probably hear stories about at some point here on the channel.
Yes, like the ever-changing character.
Yes.
So, anything and everything that y'all request or we can dream up concerning collectibles, tabletop RPGs, video games, movies, TV series, comic books, graphic novels, books, and mostly anything relating to fantasy or sci-fi genres. We aim to be a resource for all those things. We hope to provide video content on YouTube. We hope to have a website going with podcasts and various platforms and written content.
Yeah, I know we intend on starting with the things that we're on stable ground as far as our personal knowledge, but we're definitely willing to expand if there's requests and the like, and all go on this whole journey together.
And other than that, we'll do a lot of like ask the expert things, which is these two. They have encyclopedic knowledge of all kinds of different gaming systems, all kinds of different platforms, all kinds of different genres, and in general, they have been doing this for 30 years, and Bobby has a house full of miniatures to prove it. Which you'll see a lot of that stuff too. Bobby continues to buy Dwarven Forge and minis, and
Yeah, there will definitely be product reviews along with displaying some older products and compare and contrast with newer versions, like with the miniatures. WizKids is constantly pumping out new Dungeons and Dragons miniatures, for instance, but Wizards of the Coast made numerous miniatures in the early 2000s, and I still have several of those, so I have a lot to compare and contrast to for quality and pricing, things like that. And as Brad mentioned, also the Dwarven Forge stuff. Not really a compare and contrast there because it's basically light years beyond everything else. So, but you're paying for it.
Yeah, you're paying for it. I have a little bit of the Dwarven Forge stuff, and it can cost you.
But so long as you're getting use out of it, it is completely worth it.
Oh yeah.
It is the current stuff is like virtually indestructible. So,
and it looks wonderful.
and just even as a collector, if you're not using it, I'm sure it still has all kinds of value, if not monetary.
Now, if you want to set up a city diorama or dungeon diorama,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just have it on a shelf, it's great for that.
yeah, that's actually why I started buying it, because I'd gotten out of the D&D minis game had basically died, and I wanted to keep the miniatures in case I ever needed them for the RPG, but I wanted to display them. So I actually have a number of the resin sets that they don't focus on so much anymore, which is understandable because they're difficult to transport because they're just a little fragile. But they look fantastic, and if possible, I'm going to get some video and pictures of those to display to show the difference. But the other stuff they make at the moment out of what they call Dwarvenite is worth every penny. It's but there is a slight difference in quality. So, but those are things that we'll explore in other videos down the road.
So in that vein of the ask the expert kind of thing, I'll be asking things that interest me. Like we just talk and things come up, and I'll get in a rabbit hole of something and get Bob talking about something for an hour and a half, and pretty soon I know about the different factions and BattleTech or whatever. And that's amazing. And we'll just do that. We'll just jump down rabbit holes and let Bob and Chad go until they run out of air.
That might take a while.
Yeah, that might take a while. We'll split those up into separate videos.
Try to keep each video to a specific topic in that conversation.
Yeah, good luck. But yes, that is the plan.
Yeah.
But also, if you are watching and you want to hear about something in particular, I'm sure they have at least a passing familiarity with it, and will jump down a rabbit hole in front of us to get out in front of us to answer the questions that you have. And anything that you want to talk about, they either know about already or will know at some point soon, I'll guarantee it.
Or I will be more than willing to look it up.
Yeah.
All right, so that's us, and that's the plan. And we look forward to deep diving into various topics in the coming days, weeks, months, and years, and mining all of that wonderful information y'all have floating around up there.
Yeah, I should also note that I know we've mentioned some older materials like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and like Sega Genesis. So just to be clear, our videos are not going to be entirely on current things. Like there's enough going on, current things to probably keep us busy, but there's all kinds of older things that we also really enjoy, and those are going to be getting covered as well. Like I said, I'm a huge movie fan, and probably my favorite decade for movies is the 80s.
That was a good decade for movies.
Probably actually followed closely by the 70s.
It's terrible for fashion. If I never see another pair of parachute pants, I'll be all right.
Right. Next video, I'll wear parachute pants.
So,
Actually, okay, I would be down for that. If you'll come dressed in 80s gear, looking like a flock of seagulls, then all right.
I don't have the hair for that.
I am. Oh, that's fair. That is fair.
you're going to have to like bleach your skin too, because the main dude is an albino.
Was he melanin challenged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not completely. He didn't have the red eyes like some people end up with.
That's the coolest part about it.
But they're very light blue, if I recall. But yeah, he's very, very pale. I saw like a behind the music kind of thing about it one time. But yeah, so it won't just be current stuff. Like we will occasionally, I'm sure we'll do some retro, looking back on the older editions of Dungeons and Dragons, and not just the 3.5 that we've actually played, but first, second, advanced.
We'll also
And
look
not
at
just-
other RPGs that are out there as well.
Yeah.
Like right now, with another group of friends, I'm running Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory, and we're finding it's rather fun.
Yeah, and when relevant, we'll probably also have people other than just the three of us here. Like I said, we've got the fourth friend that is also in the D&D campaign. If we can get him on board, has a huge video game collector. Has all kinds of Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games.
He's got all the platforms.
Yeah, so him and possibly his son. And Chad, like he said, has the other group that he plays with. Some of them might be interested. So, it won't just be the three of us constantly, but we'll probably be the three constants. Hopefully that makes
Here's
sense.
hoping.
That makes total
So-
sense to me, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say when Chad said that. It's not just D&D. That's what we're in the middle of now, and that's the first TTRPG that I jumped back into, and it's the one that I was familiar with to some extent before. And so that's what normally comes out of my mouth whenever I start talking about it. But we will cover other things other than that as well. Because not only do y'all want to hear about that, I am assuming, that I also want to know. So that's kind of the deal. Like I said, total noob, and but I'm interested, and we can take this journey together with the mining of their minds. There's oftentimes mining accidents. I want you to understand. We've got a whole OSHA, MSHA mine safety thing going on that should apply here because there is dangerous things in these mines.
Definitely hard head area.
Steel toe boot area.
Yeah, all the PPEs. So sometimes we might get more than we ask for, but we're going to keep asking. And lots of times, those things that we didn't ask for is going to lead into a whole rabbit hole of awesomeness that we will fly down and find out about together.
It's more like fall, not fly, but
Yeah, that's totally
Flying is falling with grace, remember. We all saw Toy Story.
yeah, that's true.
I really like the Toy Stories.
I think I only saw the first two. I really should watch the others. I hear they're good. But
I don't even know if I've
just
seen
haven't
them all, but
I've seen the first two.
I gotta
That's
figure
it.
they're all
watched them.
the same. I mean, different but the same, right? I mean, as far as quality goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all the same
I mean,
quality.
Pixar, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, quality-wise, I hear
It's going to work out good.
Yeah, I hear 3 and 4 are the same quality-wise. So I definitely need to put them on the list so we can talk about them at some point too. So
So not only are we going to like talk about things like the Toy Story franchise or 007 or Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever's. We're also going to do some like previews too, or review say like Stranger Things just come out now, new Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? Sometimes we'll get into some of that too. I really love watching those on YouTube myself. Watching people who watch a lot of these shows, watching them watch it for the first time is enjoyable for me. So hopefully we'll get some of that on there too.
And if it works out with some of these things, we might go the route of, we'll do a more brief, spoiler-free talk, and then a longer video of, you've been warned, like we're going to spoil everything kind of videos. If that seems to work out for everybody, we'll take that approach. Otherwise, like, you've been warned, there's going to be spoilers. Like, especially if I'm talking about a movie that came out 20 years ago, you had your chance to watch it. Like
For sure.
Like I see people that still try to go protect the spoilers from Watchmen, which was a book that came out in like 1985, I believe, or 86, somewhere right around that area. Like, you've had a few decades.
You've had issues with people getting on to you about spoilers for Titanic.
Well, that was a joke, but
Right. So if episode 4 of Obi-Wan comes out on what night is it coming out on? Monday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday nights. So if we film a thing of Obi-Wan episode 4 on Thursday, meant to go out Friday morning, then we'll try to be cool with the spoilers on one, and then maybe let one rip. But if there's any sort of date, if the whatever we're watching is dated at all, then we'll tell you up front that there's going to be spoilers, and you can choose not to watch until you've watched whatever we're watching, and then come back and get our view of it too. Anything else?
I think that about sums it up for our intro here, to let the good folks out there know what we plan on doing.
And we do also want you to understand that we do think you're good folks. We're good folks. We know a lot of people in this community, not the community we live in, but the community that we're talking about here. And we are of the firm belief that the majority of these people are good people. So we hope to develop and cultivate a give and take relationship with y'all good people, and hope that this turns into something mutually beneficial for all of us, in every way possible. So thank you for taking the time to click on this video and watching what we hope to provide for y'all moving forward. And never hesitate to reach out and let us know via the DMs or just a comment, or however we navigate it, or set it up for you to navigate to us. Always let us know what you'd like to see, hear, read next, and we'll do our best to get that out to you. And if this resource seems like it might be helpful for you or entertaining to y'all, please like, share, and comment below, and subscribe to help us help you by getting this old channel in front of as many nerds like us as possible, by feeding those algorithms. I'm sure we all know how they work to some extent or another. The more you hit that like button, the more you get notifications, the more comments that are on these, the more the algorithms like it, the more people it puts this out in front of, the more our community grows, and the better able we will be to fill in whatever cracks are out there in the community right now, deep dive into things that other people aren't deep and dive into. Deep and dive? Deep diving? Deep and dive, whatever. It's just outside of Waterdeep. Anyways.
We'll provide you with news, not necessarily correct grammar.
Yeah, that's
fair
one
play.
thing you should never
to not expect that here.
expect is proper grammar in higher level math. Although I'm sure Bob can do that.
You get above calculus 1 and it gets a little, I'm a little
Look,
rusty.
D&D requires simple math.
Yeah.
Don't
So
need
long
higher
as-
level math.
So long as I don't have to graph a parabola on a TI, Texas Instruments TI-85,
Yeah.
well, I think we'll be all right. I'll be all right anyway. So anyways, do the things like, share, ring the bell, get this in front of as many people as possible, and that's just hopefully better for everybody. It'll be better for us. Hopefully it's better for you by increasing the amount of time that we can put into this, and which obviously increases the quality of the product that you all are watching. And free product. So if all you have to do to pay for that is to like and comment and share every now and then to help us grow the channel, then please do.
And you will have our undying gratitude if you do.
Yeah.
And we again, if you reach out, we'll always, we're always going to try to give you what you want, because we have so many interests that if you're asking about it, we probably either want to know about it ourselves or already do know about it and would love to share it.
Or we might not have known about it before and would love to know about it. I mean, I love finding out new things, so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, is to find out all the things. That first time I asked Bobby about BattleTech, and an hour and a half later, which I've forgotten all of which, by the way, because most of the time I was just sitting there thinking, he's able to store that and then go back and access it and then relay it. And so I was too busy thinking about how all that was going down than to try to retain any of it myself.
But for the record, I wish I had control over that. There's all kinds of things that I should do that with that I do not.
Yeah.
So,
Say la vie.
yeah.
So anyway, that's it for us today.
I could be trying to cure cancer, but I know more about BattleTech, so that's the way it's going to shake out.
Oh, I really feel that. I was a double major in environmental science and biology. I really could be cured cancer, and I just chose to not. Sorry. Hopefully these TTRPG in deep dives we go, it's just as good as curing cancer.
So if we hit it big, we'll donate some money to Riley's and all those good folks trying to
see
do
now by liking and sharing and hitting the bell, you're also helping children. I mean, if you don't want to help children with cancer, I mean that's okay. I'm not going to judge you, but I'm just saying you can. All right, so that's going to be it for us today. Always try to remember the golden rule. If everybody would just do unto others as they would have done unto themselves, everybody would just get along so much better. There wouldn't be so much infighting. There wouldn't be so much outfighting. Just everybody try to remember the golden rule.
Yeah.
And also remember, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. When you just go through life remembering those two things, then I feel like you're ahead of the game. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.